My name is Sue, and I had a laparoscopic surgery to do a hysterectomy. I felt like there was something in my stomach. Turned out to be a very large fibroid, so I could not lie down on my stomach to sleep. I definitely had to go to the bathroom minimum 45 times a day. And it's just generally uncomfortable because it would dig into my ribs. When I met the gynecologist who was going to do the other type of surgery, when she said it was a 6 to 8 week recovery, I panicked and explained to her that I'm in a sandwich generation. I'm taking care of a lot of people, which included a father-in-law that had had serious heart surgery, a father, my dad, who had spinal surgery, who needed spinal surgery, my mother, who we just found out had lung cancer, my husband that had had 2 hip replacements and had just recovered from the second one, and I have a special needs son as well. So being in a 6-week recovery is just not feasible.
Sue, just like every other woman, deserves the right to have the least invasive medical care possible to give the best outcomes. That's the essence of minimally invasive gynecology. So when we see a woman struggling, we want to figure out what are the best options that will provide the quickest recovery, the best outcomes, without the harm or complications. Women play such an important role in holding up society that to remove them from that because they need to recover from therapies that are more maximally invasive is really not ideal.
So the situation that I was in meant that I had to have a different option. I could not do a 6-week recovery. And I think it's unfortunate that that had to be mentioned for me to get to the next step of getting laparoscopic. So I totally had to advocate for myself to find out about that. And I think that is too bad.
Patients actually do very well if they go home the same day or within 24 hours with less complications and less problems than done in the traditional manner. A woman who lives in rural Canada should have the same access as someone who lives in an urban place.
People should not have to wait such a long time to get laparoscopic, and people should know that these are choices you could have.
Innovation and change will only happen if the grassroots steps up and says something. The SOGC at this point is facilitating that.
The SOGC is Canada's oldest organization dedicated to advancing the health of women. We've looked at the data, and we see that women in Canada don't have access to minimally invasive gynecologic procedures in the same way that they have access to minimally invasive procedures for other kinds of surgery, and we're determined to make a difference.
Minimally invasive gynecology is the future. It's happening in many places like our own institution today, but we need to spread the message across the country.